Okay, so get this. Today, we're diving into Stoicism,
Okay.
but not, from like some ancient scroll or something.
Right.
We're taking inspiration from, well, a YouTuber.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we've got this video, breaks down Stoicism into 10 lessons.
Okay.
Kind of cool how,
Yeah.
ancient wisdom can be repackaged like that.
Well, and it's funny how these,
Yeah.
these age-old principles they're coming back around now in the digital age. And,
Yeah.
especially when you think about what Stoicism's really about, navigating challenges,
Mm-hmm.
keeping a calm mind. Something I think we could all use a bit more of these days, right?
Totally. Yeah, and he jumps right into it with this whole accepting fate thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but he's clear, it's not about just surrendering to destiny or whatever.
Right.
It's more like recognizing that some things you just can't control them.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this analogy, really vivid picture, like a ceiling about to collapse.
Okay.
There's nothing, literally nothing you can do to stop that. That's like fate.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where Stoicism says, look,
Yeah.
shift your focus,
Yeah.
not to the event itself that you can't control, but to your reaction.
Exactly.
That's where you have the power.
Right. And then he gets into this story from ancient China
Okay.
about a master, his son, and a horse.
Okay.
So the son, he finds this horse. Everyone's like, amazing, good fortune.
Right.
But then the horse runs away.
Oh,
Total bummer, right? Bad fortune. But then the horse comes back and it's brought a whole herd with it.
Oh, wow.
So good fortune again, but you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
It's like each event,
Right.
it seems good or bad at first, but who knows what it really leads to.
It's that, is it amor fati?
Yes. He talks about that.
Like learning to love, to just accept whatever happens.
Yeah, because
Yeah, because what seems awful now
Mm-hmm.
could be setting you up for something amazing later.
Totally.
Think about it. There must have been a time for you when something you thought was bad
Oh, yeah.
turned out to have like a silver lining.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And he connects this, and I thought this was really cool. He connects it to his own life.
Okay.
He talks about, like, leaving LA, he thought it was his dream life,
Right.
But there was a family thing, had to move back.
Wow.
At the time, felt like his whole world was falling apart. But it led him to making these videos, sharing this message, which he says he wouldn't trade for anything.
Wow. So it's like
It's like the horse story playing out in real life.
exactly. That's amor fati in action.
Yeah.
Embracing the unknown instead of freaking out about controlling every little thing.
Right.
It's a huge shift, but so freeing.
Total. It's like that saying, what is it? Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so his lesson number 3 is this whole auto-discipline, self-control thing,
Right, right.
which, let's be real, isn't always the most,
The sexiest topic.
Yeah, exactly. But he makes it about empowerment, not just restriction.
And he makes a really important distinction there.
Yeah.
He says, controlling your emotions. Near impossible. Stoicism gets that.
We've all been there.
But it's about your actions. That's what you can control.
Oh, that's good.
We all feel anger, frustration, but what are you going to do about it?
Right, and he gives this example. Okay, imagine you're stuck in traffic.
Ah, it's the worst.
You're late, important meeting, and that anger's just bubbling up.
I know that feeling.
Now, you can't control the traffic, right? That's out of your hands.
No.
But you can choose how you react.
That's it.
You can scream, honk the horn, which honestly does nothing but stress you out more.
So true.
Or you could take a breath, put on some music, use the time to get ready for your meeting.
Right.
Same traffic jam, 2 totally different outcomes.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Choosing the reaction that like aligns with the person you want to be,
100%.
with your values, not just letting your emotions call the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. What are some things in your life
Oh, yeah.
where a little stoic self-control would come in handy?
Right.
Maybe it's like
Oh, I know, right?
resisting that donut when you're trying to be healthy, or finally like starting that project you've been putting off.
It's so funny you say that because he talks about this whole delayed gratification thing.
Yeah.
And it really hit home for me because we're in this world of instant everything now, right?
Totally. Instant gratification everywhere.
But then the things that are really rewarding, that bring real fulfillment,
Right.
those take time, they take effort, and yeah, they take self-control.
It's true. Building a career, relationships, even like learning a skill, those things don't just happen overnight. Stoicism reminds you to play the long game.
It's so true. And speaking of things that are hard, This next point, it really blew my mind. He quotes this psychologist who said,
Okay.
anxiety is excess future and depression is excess past.
Whoa.
Right? Like a mic drop
Man,
moment.
that's powerful, and it goes right to that Stoic idea of being present.
Yes.
The past is gone. Learn from it, sure, but you can't change it.
Right.
Future's not here yet. We can plan, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's this moment, right now. That's life.
Yes.
But we're always like stuck in our heads, regrets, anxieties,
It's so true.
missing what's right here.
And he talked about mindfulness as the antidote to that.
Yes.
And that doesn't have to be some big thing. Just take a breath,
Yeah, pay attention.
Actually taste your coffee.
Exactly. It's about that awareness without judging, without getting swept up in your thoughts.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, science is proving what the Stoics knew all along. Mindfulness helps with stress,
Really?
focus, your well-being.
Wow.
So what's one small thing you could do today just to be a little more present?
Ooh, good question. I like that a lot. And it kind of ties into this next lesson, which is going to sound weird at first.
Okay.
It's about detachment.
Detachment. Okay, now when Stoics say that,
Yeah, no, it sounds kind of harsh.
it's not about being like cold or emotionless.
Right.
It's about realizing that real happiness, it doesn't come from clinging to stuff.
Yes.
Possessions, status, what other people think.
Right. He made that point. We chase these things thinking they'll make us happy.
Mhm.
And then we get them and the happiness just fades.
It's like you're on this treadmill,
Oh.
always chasing the next thing, never satisfied.
And Stoicism is like, get off the treadmill.
Yeah.
Find contentment within yourself.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you can't enjoy things, but it's about not basing your whole self-worth on them.
It's a total shift.
It reminds me of that quote, I think it's from Fight Club, the things you own end up owning you.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Okay, so speaking of things that can own us, this next lesson feels really relevant now.
Let's hear it.
Practicing mindfulness.
Okay, so we were just talking about detachment.
Exactly. Because think about it. Our world is full of distractions.
Oh, tell me about it.
Phones, social media, news, 24/7.
Your attention's just pulled in a million directions.
It's so easy to just get swept away,
Our minds are fragmented. Makes it tough to focus on what really matters.
Totally. And he talks about how this distraction, it can really hold you back from your goal.
It's true.
Think about it. How often do you sit down to work on something and then...
And then you're down a rabbit hole.
Exactly. Social media, news, whatever.
Being aware of those hijackers, that's the first step.
Right.
Recognize what's pulling you away.
Yeah. And it's not about quitting technology altogether,
Right.
but more using it intentionally, being aware of how it's affecting us.
Finding that balance.
Exactly. So this next lesson, it's all about internal self-examination.
Self-examination.
And I think it connects to mindfulness
How so?
because it's kind of turning that awareness inward,
Okay.
looking at your thoughts, your emotions, why you do things.
It's like self-awareness. The Stoics were big on that.
Right. And it's not about beating yourself up for mistakes. It's about curiosity. What can you learn from what you've done, good and bad?
What patterns keep showing up?
Exactly. He uses this metaphor of a mirror.
Oh, okay.
Self-reflection is like holding up a mirror,
I like that.
helps you see yourself clearly, the good and the bad.
And once you see those patterns, that's when you can change them.
Yes. It's awareness is the first step to change or something.
Exactly.
Okay, lesson 8. This is a big one, especially now when it's so easy to blame everyone else.
Oh, boy, yeah.
It's all about personal responsibility.
Taking ownership. All right, lay it on me.
Okay, he has this analogy, a sinking ship.
Okay.
And he says the ship doesn't sink because of the water around it.
Right.
It sinks because of the water that gets inside.
Ooh, that's a good one. What's he getting at?
It means we're not just victims of circumstance,
Right.
We have a choice in how we respond to things, what we let into our minds.
It's not about pretending that, bad things don't happen.
Right.
Life's going to throw stuff at you. But you can choose how you react.
Yes.
You can blame everyone else, or you can focus on what you can control.
Exactly. And that's the key, right?
That's where the power is.
Not wishing things were different, but being the author of your own story.
It's like you can't control the waves,
Right.
but you can learn to surf.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more to go. And this one, it's something I really believe in,
Hook me.
practicing gratitude.
Oh, I'm all about gratitude.
And what I like about how he talks about it is it's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about finding things to appreciate even when things are tough.
Yeah, shifting your focus.
Yes. From what you don't have to what you do have.
From what's wrong to what's right.
Exactly. And he shared this quote from Pepe the Stoic. Remember him? He was on your podcast.
Pepe, yeah, he's great. What'd he say?
He said, if you can't be happy with a coffee, you won't be happy with a Ferrari.
Ooh, yeah. It's that simple.
Right.
Happiness comes from within.
It's so easy to get caught up in wanting more. With that quote, it's like, appreciate the little things.
Find joy in the everyday.
I remember I was traveling once, met this monk. He had nothing, literally.
Oh.
But he was so joyful, so peaceful.
It makes you think.
It really does. Okay, we've reached the 10th and final lesson.
Bring it on.
Facing fear and adversity.
Big stuff.
And he's honest about it. Life is going to have challenges. It's not if, it's when.
That's where resilience comes in.
Right. He talks about falling down and getting back up.
Over and over.
Exactly. It's not about being invincible.
It's about having the strength to keep going.
Even when it's hard.
Life's messy. There's going to be setbacks, disappointments.
It's easy to feel like you're the only one struggling.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone goes through it. It's part of being human, you know?
Beautifully said. And the Stoics, they didn't see these challenges as things to fear.
Really?
They saw them as chances to grow, to become more resilient.
Wow. So it's like reframing those tough experiences.
Exactly. They're not setbacks, they're stepping stones.
I love that. And it's like he said, it's not about like never falling down. It's about getting back up every time.
And you know what's interesting? He actually uses this weightlifting metaphor to kind of illustrate this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he talks about how, like, when you're lifting weights, you're literally breaking down your muscles.
Right. It built them back stronger.
Exactly. And he's saying that life's challenges, they could be kind of like that too.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like it's often by facing these obstacles head on that we actually, discover how strong we really are.
Mm-hmm.
And the Stoics, they were all about this. They didn't shy away from hardship.
Interesting.
They saw it as a chance to practice what they believed in.
Right.
To really test their limits.
Yeah.
And to come out the other side stronger.
It's like that saying, smooth seas never made a skilled sailor.
Exactly.
So, wow, we've covered a lot today. And all from, like, a YouTube video.
It's kind of wild, isn't it? How accessible this ancient wisdom has become.
I know, right? Like you could be just scrolling through your phone.
Exactly, and stumble upon something so profound.
Totally. And what I loved about this video, about this YouTuber's take on it all, it's how practical it is,
Oh, yeah, totally. It's not just for, like, philosophers in togas.
Right, exactly.
It's for, like, everyone, everyday challenges.
It's like a toolkit, you know, for dealing with life.
Exactly.
So as you're going about your day-to-day, think about these Stoic lessons, and maybe next time you're stressed, overwhelmed, whatever.
Yeah.
Remember, you have a choice in how you react.
You have the power.
Exactly. You can let those emotions control you, or you can choose to respond differently with that, like, Stoic resilience.
I love it.
And hey, maybe even a little gratitude, right?
Always.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.